No one spoke about what happened there. At first, nothing about the place seemed unusual. The house stood at the edge of a quiet American town, built sometime in the late 1940s. White paint peeled gently from the wooden walls, not neglected, just old. It looked like a house that had lived a long life and grown tired of remembering it. People passed it every day. They parked nearby. Children rode bicycles past it. And yet, no one ever stopped there for long. They never talked about it either. When we arrived, the air felt heavier than it should have. Not cold, not warm, just still, as if the space around the house was holding its breath. The front door opened easily, without a sound. That should have been the first warning. Inside, the house smelled faintly of dust and aged wood. Everything was in its place, furniture arranged neatly, curtains drawn halfway, a clock on the wall ticking softly, even though no one remembered winding it. The silence was strange, but familiar, like a room you've been in before, in a dream you couldn't fully remember. As we stepped further inside, something became clear. The house was not abandoned. It was waiting. Footsteps echoed differently here. Each step lingered a moment longer than it should have, as if the floor remembered who had walked on it before. The walls felt closer than they looked. The hallway seemed to stretch just a little farther every time you glanced away. No one said it out loud, but we all felt it. The sense of being observed, not watched, but noticed. A presence doesn't always need eyes. In the living room, framed photographs covered one wall. Families stood smiling, frozen in black and white. Their expressions were calm, but their eyes felt wrong. Too focused, too aware. Like they had seen something moments after the photo was taken, something the camera never captured. Someone pointed out that the faces looked familiar, not because we recognized them, but because they resembled people we knew. Small details, a smile, a posture, a look. That was when the clock stopped ticking. Not suddenly, it slowed, then quietly fell silent. We didn't leave. Instead, we moved deeper into the house. Upstairs, the hallway narrowed. The wallpaper peeled at the corners, revealing older layers beneath, patterns from different decades, stacked on top of each other like the house had never let go of its past. Each door along the hall was closed, except one. The bedroom was untouched. A neatly made bed, clothes folded on a chair, shoes aligned carefully by the wall. It looked like someone had just stepped out for a moment and never returned. The mirror above the dresser reflected the room correctly, except for one detail. It reflected us standing slightly closer together than we actually were. No one mentioned it. When we turned away from the mirror, we heard movement behind us. Not footsteps, not breathing. Something softer, like fabric brushing against skin. The sound followed us as we left the room. Downstairs, the front door was still open. The outside light spilled into the hallway, weak but reassuring. Leaving would have been easy. We were only a few steps away. But the house had changed. The rooms felt closer now, the air thicker, the silence no longer empty. It carried weight, like something unseen had stepped forward. That was when we realized something terrifying. The house wasn't trapping us. It was learning us. Every movement, every hesitation, every fear. The walls seemed to remember where we had stood. The floors remembered our footsteps. The photographs on the wall felt fuller, as if something had been added. One by one, the sounds returned. The clock resumed ticking, but faster this time, not marking time, counting. The lights flickered, not violently, just enough to remind us that darkness was nearby and patient. When someone finally spoke, their voice sounded wrong, distant, as though the house was listening more closely than we were. We reached the door together. It didn't open. No force held it shut, no lock resisted. It simply refused, like it had already decided. Behind us, the house exhaled. Not a sound, a feeling, a release, the kind you feel when something reaches its conclusion. The lights went out. In the darkness, we understood the truth. The house never wanted us to leave. It wanted us to stay remembered. When the door finally opened again, the street outside looked exactly the same. Cars passed, lights glowed warmly from nearby homes. Life continued, unawares. We stepped out into it. No one asked where we had been. No one noticed anything different. But sometimes, late at night, when the world grows quiet, I hear a clock ticking faster than it should have. I see faces and reflections that stand just a little too close, and I understand why no one ever spoke about what happened there. Because the house is still standing, and it remembers everyone who entered.